Cida Dahi Mahotsava. That is in Panihati, next to the place of Raghav Pandit. If I'm not mistaken, it said 4 places Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always resides. Can you remember them? Where Nityananda dances, where Sachimata cooks, the courtyard of Srivas, and the house of, isn't it? The 4th one is the house of Raghav Pandit. He was cook. Nityananda would stay months in his house. Months. You know. He was very expert on all type of services. So just next to his house, on the outskirts of Calcutta, is Panihati. There the Ganga flows there. So even today they perform this festival in remembrance of Nityananda's and Mahaprabhu's mercy to Raghunath Goswami. So of course Raghunath Goswami is very much important. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or the Gaudiyas, appointed him as the Prayojanacharya. Siddhanta has 3 components. Sambandha Bhagavan Abhideya Bhakti Hoy Krishner Prema Prayojan Veda Tritattva Koy. The Vedas discuss 3 subject matters. Sambandha Gyan, how everyone and everything is related to Krishna. Everything comes from him. Everything is a manifestation of his Shakti, whether in the spiritual world, whether in Jiv Jagat, the individual souls, or whether the material world. All the demigods, the Brahman and Paramatma, as well as what to speak of the other incarnations, all have their connection with Krishna. There is nothing separate from him. Even Maya, that is also his potency. Devi hiya sugana maya mama maya durat. So Maya, which makes us see something as separate from Krishna, that is also Krishna. So Mahaprabhu gave Sanatana Goswami that responsibility. Then Rupa Goswami was given the responsibility of being the Prayojana Tattva. What is Prayojan Bhakti? So the glories of Bhakti and how to perform sadhan Bhakti. Abhideya, what did I say?
Prayojan.
Abhideya, sorry. What is Bhakti and how to perform sadhan Bhakti? Sadhan Bhakti, of course, of 2 divisions, Vidhi Bhakti and, what's the other one, Damayanti? Thank you, Raganuga.
Okay.
Both Vidhi and Raganuga are discussed by Rupa Goswami in his books. Mahaprabhu just gave Bhakti, but how to achieve it? If we want to know that thing, what is the sadhan? We'll have to go to the writings and mercy of Rupa Goswami. Especially this Vaidhi Bhakti, and also all 5 rasas discussed in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu, but Madhurya Rasa especially in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Bindu, and Madhurya Rasa especially represented in this Ujjvala Nilamani. But Rupa Goswami is that department. And finally Raghunath Goswami, he's in charge of Prema. How to taste what it means in this world, he showed. Therefore, Raghunath, Gaurkashadas Babaji Maharaj would always sing a song composed by Raghunath Goswami. Kotai go premamoy, Radhe Radhe. Tuma Kangal, Tuma Dake, Radhe Radhe. Forest to forest, Raghunath Goswami. Malan Basa Diogai, Braje, Dulai, Gade Gade Jai. His body was always greyish, covered by the dust of Vrindavan. And he would always, with tears in his eyes, Kotai go premamoy Radhe Radhe. Living in Radha Kund, he expressed all these ecstasies. So one day we'll have to rise to that level by his mercy. So Raghunath Goswami, so much prominent in our Sampradaya, he is the best of the Rupanugas. How to follow Rupa Goswami, then he showed. So to become a Rupanuga is more than just lip service. That thing is very high. So he was the only son of his father. His father and uncles were Vaishnav Prai. Prai means looks like a Vaishnava. No. There are two types. One is Visai Prai, one is Vaishnav Prai. Visai Prai is millions of times more. Visai Prai means like a Visai, like an enjoyer. Example, Ramananda Roy, Pundarik Vidinidi. I guess even Prataparada, Gajapati Prataparada, the king of Puri. They look like great materialists, so much wealth and opulence. But they are Vaishnavas. This is called Visai Prai, like Visais, but not. And worse than that is Vaishnav Prai. Look like Vaishnav, but not. Means always engaged in sense gratification. No? So his father was like that, and uncle. But still they had faith. We cannot say nothing, of course. They had faith. They maintained so many Brahmanas in that area. He's born in Adisaptagram. One time by good fortune, after Navadvipam, I went there with Srila Maharaj. We went to the birthplace of Raghunath Das Goswami. I remember Srila Maharaj had a 5 rupee coin. He flicked it to the donation area. It hit the edge of the coin and rolled right under Raghunath Das Goswami's Singhasan. Then Srila Maharaj went, Acha. So that place you see from Navadvip is not far from Calcutta. It's sort of like just out, anyway, halfway, a bit less than halfway. So Raghunath, from childhood, he had so much interest in bhajan, from childhood. No? He would go with his father to various religious events. He had so much taste in Harinam. At the age of 5, he took Diksha from Yadunandan Acharya. That is his initiating spiritual master. So, also he was blessed with the association of Haridas Thakur. Guru Maharaj would say Haridas, Thakur would teach him how to chant Harinam on his fingers. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, like this. So much mercy he got from his Guru, Yadunandan Acharya and Haridas Thakur, both associates of Mahaprabhu. So when Mahaprabhu took sannyas, then he came through. Actually, he had intention to go to Vrindavan, but Nityananda, quote-unquote, deceived him. Why? Because all the Navadvipasis so much feeling separation from Gaurahari. Especially Sachimata. Therefore, Nityananda is so much kind. Some coward boys were there. Nityananda instructed them, soon one fellow will come. When he asks you which way to Vrindavan, you point this way down the Ganga, not the other way. Because you follow upstream, the Ganga connects to Yamuna, then to Vrindavan. So don't point upstream, you point downstream. So the boys believed in Nityananda Prabhu. When Mahaprabhu came, he asked which way to Braj. Then the boys pointed downstream. Nityananda, knowing this, he went beforehand and contacted Advaita Acharya and arranged a big festival there. Mahaprabhu stayed there for 10 days. So especially Sachimata came. Everyone came except Vishnupriya. Then Sachimata begged from all the Vaishnavas, please give me the blessing, the benediction. These 10 days only I may cook for my son. Then all Vaishnavas accepted that like a Vedic order, like a Vedic Shruti. They did pranams. So, 10 days Mahaprabhu stayed there in great ecstasy. At that time Raghunath Das met Mahaprabhu. So much, like you can imagine how much happiness devotees performed Sankirtan there before Mahaprabhu left and went to Puri. Raghunath wanted to go to Mahaprabhu and leave everything and go with him to Puri. But Mahaprabhu gave him very valuable instructions. Stir how, gare jao nahao batul, krame to Krishna Bhava Sindhu. Don't be madman. Stir how, fix your mind. Go home, nahao batul. Don't be a batul. Batul means a madman. No, gradually, if you follow this, Krishna himself will take you across the ocean of birth and death. Antara kore nishta loka kore vyavaha acharad tape Krishna tumaru da. Makad varage na kore lokere dekan yata yog visai bunj anashakta. All these beautiful instructions Mahaprabhu gave. 2 types of Antara kodanishta. Inside, keep your faith. Loke koda vyavaha. Outside, behave like a normal person. If you do like this, Krishna will deliver you very quickly. There are two types of renunciation Mahaprabhu taught to Raghunath. One is Markat, Vairagya, the monkey renunciation. And of course, in Vrindavan, we know what that means. Monkey has no ashram. Monkey lives generally on raw food diet. But still, at the end of the day, monkey is. Monkey is as monkey does. And we know what they do quite regularly. Means no need to make an external show of renunciation like a monkey. Monkey outside appear renounced, but inside how many desires are going. Another name of that, there's one river, Falgu, right? Near Maharaj's birthplace, not very far, Madhusudana Maharaj. One time we went there, and really it's true, the water is shallow. Falgu. You think that means shallow renunciation? Outside making some big show, but inside so much rubbish going on. So Mahaprabhu always taught him the differences. And Saraswati Thakur in his Kirtan, Vaishnav K. Always remember what Mahaprabhu taught to Raghunath, the difference between real and inappropriate renunciation, the difference between the liberated and conditioned soul. So instead of doing Markat Vairagya, then you should practice this Yukta Vairagya. Yukta means in appropriate manner, engage everything in Krishna's service, enjoy without becoming degraded. Rupa Goswami, I think, gave a definition of that in Sanskrit. Anasakta visaya yataham upayunjate nirbandha Krishna sambandha yukta vairagya uchate. No need to artificially renounce anything. After the end of the day, everything is property of Krishna. No? But we should utilize everything in Krishna's service. Whatever dharma, whatever wealth we have, whatever intelligence we have, whatever we have, we should use that for Krishna. Gaugamat said, if what you have you use for Krishna's service, then Krishna will give so much. No? Of course, in the name of Yukta Vairagya, everyone doing so much enjoyment, this is not the meaning. No, I guess like Didi is the ideal example of Yukta Vairagya. So much opulence, but never she take 1 rupee for her own enjoyment. Quite a wonderful example. No? So, taking the instruction of Mahaprabhu in his head, he went back. Many people want to renounce. And what happens after a few days? They come, Gurudev. I found one Krishna Dasi. Together we want to do bhajan. Means, Gurudev, give me permission to marry. And Gurudev would say, how can I give permission for you to drink poison? Don't do. Oh, Gurudev, if you don't give permission, I will kill myself. Okay, do what you like. Gurudev gave permission. Gurudev gave permission to marry. So unless some nishta is there, then when we try to renounce, that will not last long. They say the fruit drops off the tree when it's automatically ripe. So when nishta comes, of course, what to speak of ruchi, that will be a little safe for us. So the path of gradual development of bhajan is shown by Raghunath Goswami. So following Mahaprabhu's instructions, he returned home and engaged in his mother and father's service. For 1 year that happened. 1 year. So sometimes he would try to run away previously. That's why Mahaprabhu gave him his instructions. But after 1 year, it seemed he had been cured. So at that time, Nityananda Prabhu was traveling nearby. Nityananda would just sing these bhajans. No? Yatastamre brata kuru hari hari dvana manisham. Tatova samsara nari buddhitara nadoyam adlaget. Idam bahusputi atatayatayam ya pratigriham bhajo Nityananda bhajanataru kadam niravadi. I give pranam to that Nityananda, the root of Krishna Bhakti tree. This root have 5 fruits, Sant, Das, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhur. But this root, no tree, no mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, then no what to speak of Bhakti Ras. So Nityananda, he would say, oh my brother. He would go house to house, Yatastamre brata, oh brata, oh my brothers. chant this Harinam, Dwanam, this Hari Dwaj. Tatova samsaram buniditadana doimai lagat. If you chant this name, I will be responsible for your deliverance from material existence. Idam bahusputi yatateyam yam pratigriham. Pratigriham means every house he would visit with hands in the air like this. Brothers chant, brothers chant. So much kind Nityananda Prabhu. So he came by good fortune nearby to Panihati. When Raghunath heard Nityananda had come nearby, then he took permission from his father. The father became very happy. So he said, yes, you can organize a big festival. His father was multi-millionaire. The big history is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita of Raghunath Goswami. His father was his tax collector on behalf of the Muslim king. He would collect 3 million gold coins a year in tax. So if you consider Sanatan Goswami, when he escaped from prison, he had 8 gold coins. They were ready to kill him for 8 gold coins. So you could imagine 3 million gold coins. This is like Elon Musk this time. Maybe not. Anyway, maybe not that much. But how much is a gold coin worth? None of us in Kali Yuga have any wealth. But his father was a multi-millionaire. So his father said, go do some seva for Nityananda and the Vaishnavas. So Raghunath became most blissful when he saw Nityananda. That banyan tree is still there. 2 times I went with Didi and Maharaj. We went on this day and we offered that. Maybe not this day, but we went 2 times. That tree where Nityananda, there's a mandap, like a base around that banyan tree. Nityananda was there. How he looked like a full moon, and all the other Vaishnavas looked like stars. If we remember Bhagavan, who is like a moon, then star also glows. We forget Bhagavan, no glow. So all Vaishnavas have their beauty. Whatever they have, that is because always remembering Gaur Nitai Radha Krishna. So Nityananda was like full moon, and all Vaishnavas like stars. So Raghunath did dandavats from a distance. Then some Vaishnava said to Nityananda Prabhu, oh, there Raghunath is giving pranam. So Nityananda, who was very funny, very jovial, he said, oh thief, come here. No, I will punish you. I think at that time Nityananda put his feet on his head. Was it that time or after the festival? Mm-hmm. I will punish you. What punishment? Do some Vaishnava seva. No? Vaishnava, even they give some punishment that have always some connection with bhajan. No? Sometimes we misunderstand. Because like Nityananda, ocean of prema. His body is made of prema. Gurudev, body made of prema. But they chastise, they speak harsh words to us. But they're made of prema, so their chastisement is not an act of cruelty or selfishness. That is an act of prema. Many times we misunderstand and think some other rubbish. So their blessings and their chastisement, if we take it properly, both give devotion. So what punishment? Serve Vaishnavas. So Raghunath had money. So what festival was there? So today, Dahi Chiri. Chira means flat rice. If you take parboiled grain and put it under a mill, it becomes flat, chipped rice. It has to be a little cooked, a little soft. Otherwise, just dry rice, it just breaks to flour. So I don't know how they do it. Somehow, chipped rice. So hundreds of pots were brought. Each Vaishnava got 2 pots. In one pot was put chipped rice soaked in milk. And in the other pot was like condensed milk, yogurt, sugar, many things, banana. So every devotee got 2 pots. So when they heard about the festival, others came. Then they had to bring more bananas, more yogurt. Then many people began coming to sell their bananas and yogurt, and it became a mela, big mela. So many people there was no room to sit on the bank of the Ganga, therefore people were standing in the water with their 2 pots. And Raghunath and the servants distributed prasad to everyone. But no one ate because Nityananda Prabhu had not eaten. Therefore, no one began to eat not like us, would be there. Because Nityananda had not eaten, but Nityananda had not eaten because Gaurasunda had not taken. No, we cannot eat anything not offered to Bhagavan. No. So Nityananda called. No. When we offer prasad, we should also. One asan should be there for Gurudev, because what power we have to call Bhagavan. One asan for Gurudev. No, we welcome Gurudev. We wash their feet, their hands, their mouth. Please sit. In the same way, Nityananda called Mahaprabhu. The asan was there, all prasad was there, but no Mahaprabhu. So by meditation, Nityananda called Mahaprabhu. We are offering bhog. We believe Bhagavan taking, but we not see. But Mahaprabhu directly came. And how Nityananda offered him? Pushing in his mouth. Because Sakyaras, friend of Krishna, taking that chip rice, would put in his mouth, and Krishna also, he taking Mahaprabhu, also taking and pushing the mouth of Nityananda Prabhu. People could only see Nityananda doing this in the air. They could not see Mahaprabhu taking. But some fortunate souls, especially Raghunath, he could see Mahaprabhu is accepting the prasad of Nityananda. That time, Gaur Haribol, Gaur Haribol. When Nityananda ate, then all Vaishnavas took with great ecstasy. Mahaprasad Govinde Nam Brahmani Vaishnave Swalpa Punyam Padara Viswasana Vajati Sarirada Vijaya. We sing. This body is a network of ignorance. Sarirada Vijaya Jitendra Jakaka. Jitendra, the material senses, very powerful. Jiva Balev Saya Sagori. Especially the tongue is most powerful. Always, I want this, I want that. Jive Balev Visaya Sagori. Sagori means ocean. Always tongue wants to take us down. So what to do? By taking this remnants of Krishna very easily, very happily, devotee cross ocean of birth and death. But when we offer prasad, we should not just think Bhagavan is a prasad making machine. We should offer with affection. So all Vaishnavas took prasad. All were very happy. Then Raghunath, then Mahaprabhu blessed him by putting, at that time Nityananda blessed him by putting both feet on his head. But still he hadn't finished. But secretly he gave some, if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, some number of gold coins he gave to Nityananda's servant, secretly. He gave all the senior Vaishnavas some cloth and some donation like this. So Nityananda called Raghunath as a thief. A thief should be punished. Why? A thief tries to steal the property of others. So Mahaprabhu is the property of Nityananda. You want Mahaprabhu, you want Radha Krishna without my mercy, then you're a thief. Heno nitai bine bai Radha Krishna paitina. The mercy of Nityananda, we get Radha Krishna. So, by the mercy of Nityananda, all his material attachments were destroyed. No. Arakabe nitai chand karuna habe tabe. What is it? Vishaya bulibe kabe shuddha habe man. When Nityananda gives mercy to him, all my material attachments will be destroyed. Kabe hame herabo Sri Vrindavan. Then I can see Vrindavan directly. No? Ara kabe nitai chand karuna haibe. No. Kabe hame bish bujebo. Anyway, mercy Nityananda Prabhu. So he went home, and what happened? Yadunandanacharya had one pujari who went crazy and ran away. No one to serve the deities. Therefore Yadunandanacharya sent a message, send Raghunath to call the pujari back for his seva. So he'd already gotten a blessing of Nityananda Prabhu. This time when he tried to run away. Previously, every time he tried to run away, he was captured by his father's security force. His mother said, bind him with a chain. Then father said, if a wife as beautiful as Miss Universe, with wealth like Indra, and the affection of mother and father, these chains cannot bind him. What a metal chain will do. So when he left this time, then no obstacle. Normally that trip will take a good 20-30 days, but Raghunath did in 12 nights. And what he ate, just some milk, some muri, some puffed rice. There he became very thin, his body was black. And when he came, he surrendered to Mahaprabhu, who was there in Gambhir. Mahaprabhu's bhajan place was there. Then Mahaprabhu so much affection to Raghunath. He took him and with his own hands cleansed him. So much like a cow cleanses the calf. Mahaprabhu, so much affection for Raghunath. No. And he said, your material life is a ditch of stool, and your uncle and father are like worms in that stool. Look like Vaishnavas, but not. These days we see all those things. Look like temple president, but what? Just fully absorbed in children collecting money. And in the end, they just stick Gurudev's name. We're doing all this for Gurudev. That's all right, no? But still should not be blaspheming the real Vaishnavas. No? Where is their position? Where is ours? So, Mahaprabhu gave him some valuable instructions. Balu na kaibada, balu na paibe. Don't gramyavata na kohibe, gramyavata na sunibe. Don't hear materialistic talks. No, don't listen to them. Don't eat very palatable foods. No. Balu, and don't wear very wonderful cloth, attractive cloth. Most of the people wearing nice cloth to attract the opposite sex. So don't do all these things. And he called Srila Damodara Goswami and said, now I'm giving this Raghunath to you. So 3 associates of Mahaprabhu, Raghunath, Bhatt, and who was the other Raghunath? I cannot think, but there were 3 Raghunaths. So he became the Raghunath Das, became the Swarup Era Raghu, the Raghunath of Swarup Damodar. He became famously known as that. You can do bhajan under his guidance. If you have any specific questions, you may ask me. Because ultimately, Mahaprabhu is Krishna trying to be devotee. But Vaishnava have swabhavik seva vasana, natural mood to serve. So Mahaprabhu, mercy, he sends us to Vaishnavas. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Daya Koro More. Mercy of Mahaprabhu, then we can get the association of the Vaishnavas. Without the mercy, without the mercy of Chaitanya Nityananda, no one can get Vaishnava Sangha. So Mahaprabhu gave a mercy. And Swarup Damodar, how doing bhajan? No, tired. Swarup Damodar, Raghunath Goswami, how doing bhajan? First, his father sent 2 Brahmin cooks and some money every month. Raghunath Goswami, Raghunath Das at that time, immediately accepted the money first. And because Mahaprabhu had a habit of every day he would accept invitation for lunch at the house of different devotees. And when Mahaprabhu came, all sannyasis came, so Raghunath used that money for that seva. But then after some time he could understand Mahaprabhu was not satisfied by that. So he sent the cooks and the money. He did not accept that. Why? Because that money comes from materialistic sources. My father is a materialist. Visaya ana koilo melin hoyaman melin manna hoy Krishna resmana. If you eat the food grains of materialist, right? Don't eat that. That means what? No Vaishnava, no Prabhupada, no Prabhupada. If we eat that, then mind will become contaminated. Contaminated mind cannot remember Krishna. I mean, one thing we can learn from Didi, many things, but one thing is don't eat in these restaurants, all these things. No, don't take. It's like poison. Even someone whose character is not good, don't take grains from them. Sometimes in circumstance we can accept fruits, but grains is like poison, don't take. So this all Mahaprabhu's instructions we can learn from the life of Raghunath. So he renounced that. Mahaprabhu became very happy. Mahaprabhu inquired, because no more monthly invitation. Mahaprabhu inquired what happened. Oh, he sent the money back. Mahaprabhu was satisfied. Mahaprabhu loka hoi vadagyara prajan jaha dekhe tushti hoi Gaur Bhagavan. Gaur Bhagavan. The main symptom in the life of the devotee is renunciation. When Mahaprabhu sees this, he becomes very satisfied. So Mahaprabhu is satisfied. Then how is Ravi? He's not accepting money from his father. He asked Swarup Damodar, how is he eating? Then Swarup Damodara said, oh, there's some food for life. Food for life places distribute Mahaprasad. He goes there. But after some time he thought this is not good. So he gave that up. He began begging. I've also done that. If we cannot go inside the temple, you stand outside and people are always coming with Jagannath Prasad. Brother, give some Prasad. They'll happily give you Jagannath Prasad. I've done that a few times. So he begs, but after some time he thought this is not good, like prostitute. A prostitute may think, oh, this guy last week, he gave me $50. Maybe this week we'll do again. So he renounced that begging. You know what it's like when maybe you're selling books on the street, or, oh, this guy looks wealthy, maybe he'll take. All these things coming. So even he renounced that. Then what he was doing? Then finally, if you look in the Jagannath temple, there's a kitchen. You can see from outside. There's the place where they wash the rice and vegetables, and there's a spout. It comes out. And the cows eat that at night time. So that rice, which even the cows would not eat, had become rotten. Raghunath would collect, wash in the ocean. And some hard bit inside that had not rotted, he would take that with salt. Mahaprabhu went with Swarup Damodara to see. When he saw that, just like Krishna's Leela with Sudama, same Leela, Mahaprabhu snatched and ate. Oh, you are eating, you are having a feast here every day with this nectar, and you are not inviting us, your friends, where is your character? So like this. Then after some time, then Raghunath finally, he went to Mahaprabhu and some personal questions. Then Mahaprabhu instructed him, Amanina Madada Hoibe, Krishna Nama Sadalobe, Brajarada Krishna Seva Manasi Korebe. Always be lower than a straw in the street, more tolerant than a tree. Easy to say, right? Saraswati Thakur said a beautiful thing. Even though we speak the truth, we'll be abused in so many ways, still don't give up. That is called Trinadapi Siddhi. Sometimes we make a, oh, Prabhu, like this and no. And Trinadapi is only for the Vaishnav, not for the dog. Srila Maharaj said, dog comes in the temple, what do we do? Oh, is Bhagavan has arranged, pranam. No, dog gets the stick. So Trinadapi, really, that is for the high class of Vaishnavas. To them, we should always be so much humble, so much tolerant. No? With no Guru Vaishnav Sangha, then no tolerance. No? Right? We're singing. Vaishnav Thakur, Dayara Sagar, Edasa Korona Koro, Diyapada. No? So, Sakala Sahane Korite Sakati Dehonata Jata Jata. So by Vaishnav Sangha, what happens? By their mercy, become tolerant. No. The tree never asked for things, but still. So be more tolerant than a tree, more humble than blade of grass. Give all respect to others, not demanding respect for oneself. With this mood, chant the name of Krishna. Amanana manana hobe Krishna nama saralobe. Always chant the name of Krishna. And Braja Radha Krishna Seva Manasi Korebe. In your mind, perform Manasik Seva towards Radha Krishna. Moni Nitya Cida Deha Kore Bhavan. Always remember you are the Cida Deha. If you have one, Padabja have one, soul has a body. That's Cida Deha. No? So when that awakens, then the soul illuminates this body with consciousness. When the soul awakens, you will not think anymore, I am this body. You will be fully identifying with the Siddha Deha, spiritual body. No? So, that is, always remember your Seva and Braj. So Mahaprabhu gave this Siddha Deha. These instructions on Siddha Deha. No? Bhakti I was reading yesterday, Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj said, the caste Goswamis, they father, son, father, son. They all have the Siddha Pranali. But are they all Siddha? That's the question. So Raghunath, this process of Siddha Pranali also there in Gaudiya Samprada. That is not the property of the Sahajas. That is property of the Gaudiyas. Of course, when time is ripe, become like Raghunath Goswami, then you can get that Churukamaj. Cida means also in Bengali, Cida means fully boiled. He said, Cida Pranali is not for the half-cooked potato. These days people, Gurudev, haha, tell me my Cida Pranali. But you are not qualified to digest that. Anyway, this is the big difference between Gaudiya Sampradaya and Sahaja Sampradaya. So, this thing is not cheap. Padabja telling me this morning, no? Srila Sridhar Maharaj would never give his disciples the names of Radhika. Not give. Because where is Radhika? No? I heard today someone called their disciple Rupa Manjari Dasi. Really? No. Anyway. So these things should not be given openly just to attract the lower section of persons. No? These things should have their own dignity. So anyway, Raghunath, when Mahaprabhu disappeared from Puri, then one by one, Gadadha, Swarup Damodar, Ramananda Roy, they left. And one son devotees could not stay in Puri anymore. Mahaprabhu stayed there 18 years. So everything reminded them of Mahaprabhu, each grain of sand, each. So some went to Vrindavan, some went to Puri, some went to Navadvip. Guru Maharaj said Puri became like ghost town. Raghunath could not stay there. Everything reminded him of Mahaprabhu, everything reminded him of Gadadhar, Swarup Damodar. So much he had affection. He thought, I will kill myself. So he went to Vrindavan with the intention of giving up his life by drowning in the Yamuna or jumping off Govardhan. But there he met with Rupa and Sanatana. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj says beautifully, somehow magically he felt, here is the presence of Mahaprabhu. Again. So they gave him so much affection. Don't give up your life. Then Sanatana Goswami said, I also wanted to give up my life. Sanatana Goswami had some bodily disease. He wanted to kill himself. And Mahaprabhu said, no. How can you destroy the property of someone else? I have many activities I want to do through your body. If we could get Krishna by committing suicide, we would commit suicide thousands of times. We would not, but we think, if I kill myself, how will I enjoy materially, Padabja? What will happen to us? So therefore we fear to give up this body. But Vaishnava can give up this body, which is like a heavy load, a heavy burden for them. So there, and also, most importantly, they kept him in Radhakund. Sometimes they visited him. And most importantly, because Raghunath had so much Sangha of Mahaprabhu, like 18, more, maybe a bit less than 18, 16, who knows, can't say exactly. At least 12 years. Mahaprabhu 18 years in, 24 years, right? Sorry, 24 years in Navadvip, 18 years in Puri, and 6 years traveling around. So 18 years. Raghunath Goswami associated with Mahaprabhu. So he had so stockpile of Mahaprabhu's katha. Because when Mahaprabhu was in Gambhir with Swarup Damodar, when he would come back, then he would ask Swarup Damodar what Mahaprabhu said, what bhav was there, what he said, what he felt. And Swarup Damodar would speak that katha to Raghunath. So Raghunath had a big stockpile of katha. Rupa and Sanatana, not so much association with Mahaprabhu. So both so much happy, by each other's association. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Mat kata mat prata pranay bodhabayantas parasparam katam richas chamam nityam tusyanti charumanti cha. What do Vaishnavas do? Speak katha to each other. This way they make themselves happy and others happy. So, especially there in Radhakund, every day Raghunath Goswami would speak 4 hours of Gaur Katha. Gaur means Radha Krishna. And who is listening? Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj. So all that Gaur Katha he took from Raghunath Goswami. Otherwise, how could he write Chaitanya Charitamrita? So Chaitanya Charitamrita also the mercy of Rupa and Raghunath. Therefore, at the end of every chapter, what he writes, Rupa Raghunath Pade Jaras Chaitanya Charitamrita Kohi Krishna Das. At the end of each chapter, he gives pranam H.I. Gosai Ama Shiksha Gurugan. I give pranam to my 6 gurus, the 6 Goswamis, but especially Rupa and Raghunath. Without Rupa Goswami's mercy, be no Raghunath Goswami. Without Raghunath Goswami's mercy, no Chaitanya Charitamrita. So you can imagine how indebted we are to him. So especially, sometimes we were just hearing Sanka Purva Kanama Gana Natabi Kalava Sanikrito Nidrahara Vihadata Vichito Chatyanta Dinacho Goshantara Vitis Gayante Chikadhara Gunavaram Bhavabito Mudmada. Right? Mande Rupa Sanatano Rigo Srijiva Gopal. Radha Krishna Gunasmriti Madhuri Mandandena Samavata. Sankhya Purvaka, every day chanting a fixed number of Harinam. Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gana. Every day he would chant Harinam. Gana means Kirtan, Natabi. Kalau Visani Krito, he would dance sometimes in ecstasy. Nidra Hara Vihada Tadi Vichito. He conquered sleep, conquered eating. Sometimes we make an artificial show of defeating hunger. But next month, again. But they conquered the urges of the tongue. This Ovacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. They did like that. We have not done like that, but at least we should know the standard. The standard is like that. And Guru Maharaj would say, first comes by tongue. I want to be like that. This is the standard. We should be like that. So by speaking, a desire also comes. Every day he would offer 1,000 pranams to the Vaishnavas, to all the Leela Stalis. 1,000. How many we did today?
Pranams?
Even one?
One.
When?
This morning.
One. And even then we're like,
You were doing push-ups.
1,000. He would chant so much Harinam, very regulated his sadhan bhajan. Actually, they don't need. They're siddhas, but still they're giving example. They're kind. Radha Krishna Gunasmriti Mududama Nindana, and always remembering the blissful name, form, qualities, pastimes of Radha Krishna. Take the measurement, Padabja. Where are we and where is that verse? So, extreme attachment. He manifested that extreme attachment to Radhika. Especially 2 types of bhakti. One is Sambandhanuga, one is Raganuga. Sambandha means Dasakam Batsali Ras. And this Kamanuga, this Ujval Ras, Madhura Ras, have 2 divisions. Sambhogat Ichatmik and Tattad Bhav Ichatmik. Another name of that is Bhavulas Rati. See, that's a good thing about speaking Katha. If you speak Katha, you can remember something. If you don't speak or hear, you cannot remember anything. You may chant Harinam, but you don't speak or hear something or read something, Katha, you become dry. So this Bhav Ulasrati. This is Sanchari Bhav. It's one of the Sanchari Bhavs, this Ulasrati. Like Radhika sees Krishna from a distance. Then one Sanchari Bhav means a temporary Bhav comes in her heart. Means what is very dear to Krishna, you feel more affection for that than Krishna, just for a second. Sanchari Bhav is like a wave. It comes and then goes. So Radhika, seeing Krishna from a distance, felt so much ecstasy, she embraced Lalita. Because she thinks Lalita is most dear to Krishna. But in Radhika, that's just a temporary thing. But in the Manjaris, that becomes Daibhav. What is most dear to Krishna? Radhika. They feel more attachment for Radhika than for Krishna. So very wonderful and astonishing thing. So Raghunath Das Goswami manifested that extreme attachment. Of course, in Radha Krishna's Leela, he is Rati Manjari. Rati means attachment. Radhika's Rati for Krishna comes in the form of Rati Manjari. So the Ishtadev of the Manjaris is Krishna because they're tadatmik with Radhika. Radhika is tadatmik, fully absorbed in Krishna. So they taste that Krishna, attachment to Krishna through their seva to Radhika. So it's a very astonishing thing. So he manifested all this mood, this very confidential mood. Before Raghunath Goswami, who heard of Manjari Bhav? No one heard anything. So he wrote this Vilap Kusmanjali, 108 verses, I think. Vilap means lamentation. On the banks of Radhakund, so much lamenting for the Seva Radhikas. 3 stages of Vaishnav. One is what is it? Bahar Chitta, Antas Chitta, and in the middle. Some Vaishnava is external, they talk with us. Ha ha, he he. Sometimes they're fully absorbed inside, that time they forget this world. And sometimes half. So Raghunath Goswami, this Vilap Kusmanjali, sometimes external. That time when external consciousness comes, there's separation. And internal, they're meeting directly with that seva, and sometimes half. So the Vilap Kusmanjali is so dear to the Rupanugas, especially those in Madhurya Ras. Saraswati Thakur had memorized them all those verses. And when he would chant Harinam, he would also speak the verses of Vilap Kusmanjali. So we give pranam. What can we say? Raghunath Das Goswami ki jai. Dahi Cida Dahi Mahotsava ki jai. Go Premanandi. Haribol. Vrindavan Bilasini Radhe Radhe